To go over this new policy. I sent out something in Paylocity that explains this all, so I'm not going to read off my Paylocity announcement. So please, if you haven't already, get a chance to log into Paylocity and look at the announcement. But starting right now, we're passing out the new policies for the employee illness policy, which is updated for the COVID pandemic, and the COVID spread protection policy or prevention policy. And these basically, what they're to do is they are to bring us up to speed and up to date with the new New Hampshire Stay-at-Home 2.0 regulations that are going into effect for all retailers. And it's utilizing the retail guidance and the universal guidance that's on the what is it, nh.gov website if you care to look and want to read up on all the policies for all the business types in New Hampshire to reopen. So, like I've said before, we were already doing 80 to 90% of all the regulations that they want to put in place for retailers, so good job us. I think they watched the retailers around the state and picked the things that people are doing best to start off and mandate that every retailer does. And it's nice to see that most of those things were things we were already doing. So, one thing that was different is the temperature check. So that is the big thing. So if you read all this, it's pretty much the same stuff we've been doing. I want to reiterate, do not come to work if you're sick. If you are sick, call here and say, I am ill, and you should probably see a doctor to get the verification on that. Do not come in if you're sick, because the whole thing with the temperature check is going to check your temperature. We're going to ask you some questions.
But if I interrupt,
You may.
it says in there, call in. It doesn't say text
Don't
in. It
text
doesn't
in.
say email in. And if you're going to call in and say I'm sick, be prepared to describe your symptoms at that time, because we're going to ask, what are your symptoms?
Yep.
Is
So-
that to your manager?
Yes.
To your manager. Call in
your
To
manager.
your manager.
Yes,
If
a
for some
phone
reason-
call,
if
not a
you're-
text, not an email.
If your manager is not here, then ask for whoever's in charge of the store and tell them, okay? You should call, this should be your standard procedure for calling in. You ask for your department and your department's manager, whoever's in charge of your department at the time. And if there is nobody in charge of your department at the time, ask for the store, person who's in charge of the store, okay? So we will ask you, we'll take your temperature, make sure it's below 100 or 100 or below. We will ask you some questions. Have you been in close contact with a confirmed case of COVID? Have you had a fever or felt feverish in the last 3 days? Are you experiencing respiratory symptoms, which could include runny nose, sore throat, cough, shortness of breath? Are you experiencing any new muscle aches or chills? And that doesn't mean I have muscle aches because I was gardening yesterday. This is muscle aches, feverish. Have you experienced any new change in your taste of sense or smell? So we're going to ask you those questions every single time. We're putting them on a form, so you're going to check them off. But the reason I'm talking and saying all this now is if you could answer, yes, I've got fever, then don't come to work. Okay? Don't wait to come to work for us to ask you that question, and then we have to send you home. Okay? Pretty simple. So starting Monday, we'll come in and we planned on the operations office still will be the
Yep.
place. That could change. We're going to try this out, see how it works. When you come into work on Monday, you go to the operations office, no one there, you page MOD to the operations office. And for now, Sharice and I are going to take charge of that when we get in. And we will be the ones doing the temperature check. We'll take your temperature, we'll hand you a little form that you can answer these questions on, and then we'll put it in a little file that Sharice has set up. It's private information. It will not be shared with anyone. It will not be put out for people to see. We're just doing it because that is what the state is wanting us to do.
What if you guys are not here, you or Sharice?
That's where I'm coming to next. If you come in, if you're one of the early opening people who come in early in the morning, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning,
4:30 for Gary.
4:30 for Gary, then I am deputizing you as a person in charge that can take your own temperature and fill out your own form, okay? When we come in, we have the right to check and see, all right, there's 6 people here. do we have 6 forms filled out? This is mandatory, we need to do this, so don't say, yeah, I don't need to do it, I've done it every single friggin' day, and I don't wanna do it another day, it's the same question. Keep doing it, you gotta do it every day. So
How
those-
long do you guys have to keep that stuff on file, do you know?
That information is unclear.
It is unclear.
At this point, we're gonna, you know, we've got them separated by days. At the end of the week, we'll put them in a file for those week dates and put that in a box. And then, you know, once they tell us we can stop, we'll probably stuff it up above the cooler till 10 years from now when somebody cleans out from above the cooler.
It might be there.
We'll hopefully get clarification. This
Yeah.
mandate is good through the 31st. I'm guessing it sometime before the 31st, they will issue some new guidance and we'll find out what that is. All right, but till then, we're just gonna save it until we hear otherwise. If we start to get a lot, we'll contact the state and say, what, you know, how long are we supposed to keep this? And we'll shred it if we're allowed to shred it. But for now, that's what we're gonna do. That way we're following the rules. Again, those of you come in early in the morning, I am entrusting you to do this, do it right, it's pretty easy, take your own temperature, I've got instructions on the wall. Put a glove on, my instructions right now say to sanitize.
We're gonna update the instructions, but the procedure will be to put on a glove, pick up the thermometer,
It's pretty easy to use.
just don't touch it with that one. I'll wear 2 gloves. You need to keep it within an inch of your head, but not touch your head. I don't have a temperature today. I have to turn it on.
Turn it on, you hold it.
You know, the technology, I haven't really played with it, so. Less than an inch,
102.3.
96.6 is my
Okay.
temperature today.
So, just to do it right, it's on the instructions, so make sure you read the instructions. Turn it on, it's gonna beep, okay? Then you point it at the forehead, about 2 to 3 centimeters from your forehead, center of your forehead.
Don't touch your forehead
And
though.
don't touch your forehead. Tap the start button. Don't hold it in, just tap it. You'll hear beep once, and then a few seconds later it'll beep twice. Then you can look at it.
It's giving me a smiley face.
Okay, it's really simple.
Can there be a mirror in there somewhere? I've
We could-
been on the street some nights and I couldn't do this.
Yeah. We can look for that. All right, does everyone understand? It's pretty simple. It's only a little bit invasive. We'll keep this information private. It'll just be between Sharice, myself, and you guys. And if you're in early in the morning, I'm gonna trust you to do it yourself because, you know, I don't think we need to schedule someone to come in at 5 or 6 in the morning to take
Take
the
one
temperature.
temperature.
You're all big boys and girls, so we can do that.
And
All
you,
right.
you said that will be until you and Sharice come in or until Jim comes in? We talked a little bit about
Now
that.
tell Chris or I come in.
Okay,
Yeah.
So everybody who comes in, I'm usually here by 7:45, so anybody who's there before then, you know, trust is a big thing, we got a great crew, responsible people here.
Yep. I don't wanna see poor Jim have to try to unload the truck and run back and forth to the MOD office to take someone's temperature. So this is how we're gonna start and try it, and after Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe we'll change it slightly depending on how
Yeah.
things go.
And we've got a couple days, Gary, stop by, see me, we'll practice.
Yeah, anyone wants to stop in and practice with a,
Feel free.
come in, yeah, especially those of you who open in the morning, come in, feel free to practice and try it. We'll run you through it so you know. One quick question, and I know everyone's gonna go because we're,
I was gonna say, would it be possible to put somewhere like a schedule, like your guys' schedule, just so we know at what point it turns to you and on what day, like you guys are here?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe actually in your office or something like that.
one of us will be here by 8:30 or 9 every day.
I'm usually here by 8. This guy sleeps in a little, but he stays later.
All right? Thanks,
All right, and
everybody.
finally, sign off, try and get these back to me, please. I'll get it to next Saturday.
Chris, you wanna talk about this when people aren't in the store or on the clock?